Hello and welcome to another insightful session of Ask PB, your go-to webinar for all things insurance. Today we are going to talk about two-wheelers. As convenient as it is to ride a two-wheeler and to take it anywhere, it is equally important to make sure that you drive it mindfully, that you have the right kind of insurance, you know how it works, you know how to file a claim, you have the right add-ons, and we'll help you with exactly that. To help you navigate through this very important topic, we have with us today Manas Kapoor, who is the head of two-wheeler insurance at policybazaar.com. Welcome to the show, Manas.
Thanks, Umang.
So, Manas, we'll start with the basics. What is two-wheeler insurance policy and why is it important?
So two-wheeler insurance is basically when someone is riding a bike or their scooters or mopeds in and around their cities. So it helps them protect from unknown circumstances where they can either get hit by a bus or they can cause damage to other properties or they can slip during rainy season. So all these risks that are associated when you are riding a bike or a scooter, to protect yourself from those things, two-wheeler insurance policy is a must.
What is the difference between a comprehensive insurance policy and a third-party insurance policy?
So basically what Government of India has done is that based on the Motor Vehicle Act, they have mandated that every vehicle should have a third-party insurance, which basically means that if I am riding a two-wheeler and I hit someone or I damage someone's property, the company will be liable to pay certain amount to the person or to the damage that has been caused. But it will not protect myself if I am riding, I get slipped or I get hit. So in order to get that comprehensive coverage is something that protects me, or more prominently if we call it as own damage policy. So whether it is theft, whether it is damage caused due to natural disasters or anything that can happen to the bike or the passenger, so that helps in protecting that.
Okay, so while it's only mandatory to get a third-party insurance policy, you would still recommend a comprehensive insurance policy to anybody who owns a two-wheeler?
Yes, totally. We recommend our users that it is a very good practice that they should buy comprehensive policy, because not only protecting others is important because it's a mandate, but protecting yourself is of more important duty, if I say.
Typically, what are the exclusions and inclusions in a two-wheeler insurance policy?
So that also depends on the policy type that one is buying. So for example, if someone is buying a third party policy coverage, then in case own damage or damage to themselves is not covered, so that is excluded. But if somebody is buying a comprehensive policy, then in that case the major exclusions is that if it is they are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, then that is not covered. If they are not riding it according to the rules of the road, then those are certain exclusions that are there that people should be keeping in mind.
So even if you have insurance, driving mindfully is still your responsibility.
Yes, definitely.
How is the premium for a two-wheeler insurance policy calculated, and are there ways to reduce it?
So basically, there are two parts to this again. First is that in a TP policy or third-party policy, the price has been fixed by the government. You go anywhere, you will get the same price. There is no ifs and buts at how it can change. So that is something which is standardized across India. Second is if they are buying own damage policies with the TP policy, which we call as comprehensive, then there are prices which depends on where the vehicle is, like for example the geographical location, the coverage or the IDV, which is called as insured declared value. So the pricing depends on that. There are certain tools that can reduce your price. Like for example, if you want, you can get a discount on voluntary deductible that is filed under the product, that if I go and do some claim and I have to give some amount from my pocket. So right now by default it is 100 rupees, but if somebody wants to upgrade that and say that okay, I will pay like 1000 rupees, so they can reduce the premium. Similarly, there are discounts on if they are some anti-theft device that has been installed. So all those kinds of discounts can help reduce the price of your two-wheeler insurance policy.
Speaking of discounts, what are some discounts that our viewers should know about?
Predominantly, if I say in case of third-party policies, there is one discount which is very prominent, which we are seeing users take on our platform as well, is of limited third party, where what happens is that if there is a property damage, then the limit reduces from 1 lakh to 6,000 rupees. So and the customer can get a 50 rupees off. So that is a good saving for a customer. On the comprehensive or own damage part, like I mentioned, that a voluntary deductible is one. They can also combine the TP part as LT, limited third party. They can, if they have an anti-theft device, they can reduce their insured declared value or coverage. So these are certain hacks, if I say, in order to reduce your premium on your two-wheeler insurance.
What are the best add-ons in a two-wheeler insurance policy that you would recommend to our viewers?
So this is completely dependent on what is the age, as we see from our data and from the customer behavior, that if there is a new bike, for example, or within a year, within a 5 years age, then in that case people are going for coverage like zero depreciation or nil dep cover. They are going for, let's say, engine protector if there is a rainy season. So that also depends on what customers are buying. There is rim and tire protector, there is engine protection, there is key protection. So all these kinds of add-ons. But nowadays what we are seeing is there is two very important add-ons that people are doing. One for electric vehicles specifically, which is a electric battery coverage, because it, for an EV, almost 40 to 60% of the cost is for the battery. So people are going for a EV battery coverage add-on, which is very common nowadays. And the second is roadside assistance. So those kinds of add-ons really help protect you and give you a 360-degree coverage on your two-wheeler.
Can you explain the end-to-end process of filing a claim for two-wheeler insurance?
So what we say to our customers is that they can reach out to Policy Bazaar and we will help them with the rest of the process by getting them touch base with the insurer. Right now we are also providing the customers with the policy copy where they have a number of the insurer, so they can directly call to the insurer. In terms of the process, simply first the customer has to, if there is a theft, for example, the customer needs to go to a police station, file an FIR immediately, and then reach out to the source from where they have bought. In case of a third party damage, there is a dedicated process where there is a lawyer, there is a case that gets filed, and basis that the claim is underway.
Typically, when somebody is buying a two-wheeler, the dealer himself or herself offers a two-wheeler insurance policy. And we tend to believe that is the best way to get the cheapest policy. But is that true or is it a myth?
It's technically a myth, because what happens is that there is the price that the dealer is giving is of 1 plus 5 year of policy, which is basically means 1 year of own damage and 5 years of TP. So TP is fixed, like we discussed earlier in the show. But on own damage, there are chances where they can increase the price or decrease the price. And the customers, because they don't have the options or they don't have the tools, like we discussed, to reduce the price or check what is the appropriate price for their vehicle. So it is very important that once they are buying either a new bike or they're renewing their insurance, it is important that they evaluate different options. They see what is the best price, what is the best IDV. Sometimes what happens is that people go for a higher IDV, considering that okay, अगर मैं ज़्यादा IDV ले लेता हूँ तो कुछ होगा तो there will be protection. But they should understand that in case of a claim, they will only get based on the depreciation value of the vehicle. So it is not necessarily a good practice to go for a higher IDV. It is a good practice to go for the best IDV suited based on your vehicle value.
If somebody has an existing two-wheeler insurance policy and they want to make some changes to address or other such minor changes, how does that work?
Basically, in that particular scenario, a customer can either download Policy Bazaar app, or they can reach out to us via our service call center or email and tell us what are their challenges or issues that they are facing. Like for example, we receive a lot of complaints on address or name change, and in that particular case, we just have a simple process that they need to give their KYC ID like Aadhaar or DL, and basis that we can get the particular thing changed from our partners, and that is a simple process for the customers.
As your parting advice, what would you say our viewers should always keep in mind while buying two-wheeler insurance policy?
So for all the users, my advice would be that first, it is important that buy a two-wheeler insurance, because many a times what they feel is that क्या हो जाएगा road पे. So that is one key important advice that I would like to give to my listeners. And the second is that the process is very easy. It hardly takes more than a minute to buy a two-wheeler insurance policy from Policy Bazaar. So it is very important to buy and buy it quickly just to safeguard yourselves.
So Manas, now we'll take up some audience questions.
Sure.
So our first question is from Ankit Sharma. He says, I recently bought a new scooter and I'm confused between a comprehensive policy and a third party one. Which one should I choose?
So Ankit, if my advice would be to always go for a comprehensive policy, but it will also depend that how much usage it is. For example, it is like if I say in Delhi, many people have just taken a scooter to park their vehicle, four wheeler. So if your usage is not that much, I would advise you can go for a third party also, just to save some premium. But there would be hardly any difference, like would be difference of 10 to 20 rupees for own damage policy versus a third party policy. So in all totality, I would recommend that to go for a comprehensive policy, but it will depend on the usage that you have.
Priya Mehta asks, my bike was damaged in a flood last month. How do I go about filing a claim for such natural calamities?
So like we discussed, that the simple process is that you reach out to us if you have bought from us, and we will help you guide to the insurer what is the next steps. So in that particular case also, we will help you with the remaining process of filing a claim, getting the regular updates, and then making sure that the claim, if approved, gets closed and the money is sent to your account.
Ravi Kumar says, I have a policy that is about to expire. What are the steps I need to follow to renew it without losing any benefits?
So that is a very important question, Ravi. So that is something that people don't know, which is called as no claim benefit or NCB advantage. So many a times we have seen that people renew their policies after it has expired. But it is a very good practice that if you renew before the expiry, you will get 10, 20, 25% discount on your policy on the OD part, not on the TP part. So that will also help you save a good amount of money. And it is generally a very good practice to buy your two-wheeler insurance before your expiry date.
Neha Joshi says, I have heard about add-ons like zero depreciation cover. Can you explain if it is worth including it in my two-wheeler insurance?
Definitely, Neha. It is a must have add-on on any vehicle. What we have also seen is that more than 80% of our users within the age of 5 years are adding zero dep cover on while buying a two-wheeler insurance. So that means that people are aware and people are much more appreciating the fact that they need to buy a zero dep. So it's a very good add-on. It helps you protect from all the depreciation covers that will be happening in case of a claim. So you don't have to pay any amount for that.
Thank you for all of those insights, Manas. I'm sure our viewers are very, very thankful. And viewers, thank you for staying tuned. If you still have any queries, any questions, please reach out to us through our official channels. If you like this show, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you have any queries whatsoever, just write in the comment section below and we'll take it up in our next session.